today, Trump also announced new cabinet positions for Tulsi Gabbard, Matt Gaetz, and Marco Rubio, among a flurry of appointments made over the past couple of days.
And CBS News has projected Republicans will keep their majority in the House, winning at least the 218 seats needed. Jessica Moore has been keeping an update on all of today's developments, and there are a lot. So she joins us now here in studio with more, Jess.
Well, Christine and Doug, today's Oval Office meeting is happening 4 years after then-President Trump declined to extend the same invitation to incoming President Biden. And while significant, even historic, that was just one of the big headlines coming out of Washington today. President-elect Donald Trump continues to fill positions for his incoming administration with the late bombshell announcement of Congressman Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. Trump also officially named Florida Senator Marco Rubio as his pick for Secretary of State Wednesday and Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. All of Trump's cabinet picks will have to undergo Senate confirmation in the coming weeks.
Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Give me a follow on X at Green_Jericho. Also, like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and make sure you like and subscribe to my new channel, Green's House. So, you've heard the buzz all day long. Trump has been adding people to his cabinet. The latest are Matt Gaetz as the Attorney General, and Tulsi Gabbard as the Director of National Intelligence. And Rubio. So we're going to check this out. Here's what we'll do. I want to share a page with you guys. And this has all of his cabinet appointments thus far. So here we go. Here's the gang so far. So we have Susie Wiles, White House Chief of Staff. You got Rubio as the Secretary of State. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense. I think he's from Fox, former military. Matt Gaetz, AG. You got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Kristi Noem, I think she's the one who shot her dog. But there's more to it than that. She didn't just shoot her dog for no reason. I know that sounds kind of old Yeller-ish, but Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. You got Elise Stefanik, Ambassador to United Nations. Mike Huckabee, so on and so forth. A lot of people. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, Department of Government Efficiency. They're already talking about saving trillions. I did a video about Tom Homan, the border czar, who's actually going to be a border czar and go to the border. I know that's crazy. So his cabinet's shaping up quite nicely. There are a couple problems that I have. One with Marco Rubio and with Elise Stefanik. Shout out to my boy Gian. He sent me these, and I wanted to play these for you. This first one is going to be Marco Rubio, and a reporter is asking him about the war in Gaza, and then the second one's going to be Stefanik, also talking about Israel. But let me know what you guys think.
No, I will not. On the contrary. Are you filming it? So I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas should stop building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
So that was Marco Rubio, and down there in the corner it said he received over $1 million from some pro-Israel lobbyists. And what he was saying, this war in Gaza, this October 7th war thing, this isn't new. Because we saw the same thing when we were fighting in Afghanistan and fighting in Iraq, and they were doing the same thing, guerrilla warfare. They lob missiles and shoot at us and IEDs and shit. Then they run into a school or they run into a hospital, they hide the weapons there, or they're shooting from there, knowing that our rules of engagement prohibit us from engaging them, from following them, from shooting at them, from leveling that building that they just went into. Our hands were tied. in a lot of ways, which I thought were bullshit. So we all, maybe not all of us, I mean, it's never all or every, but a lot of us were saying the same things that he said, that they're cowards for running into those buildings and hiding in schools. Or what about the civilians? Well, why are they shooting at us and then hiding behind women and children? It's them. They're the cowards. They're the ones causing this loss of life. And I agreed. I mean, of course, you don't want to see civilians die and people have nothing to do with it. It's like those fighting scenes in a superhero movie. Why does Superman always got to throw down in the middle of a metropolis? I know you grew up in Kansas where there's cornfields for 1,000,000 square miles. Why don't you guys go fight in a meadow? Why you got to fight 5 o'clock traffic downtown and kill 100,000 people? But that was the same kind of thing. And I know I thought that way. Well, then why are you running behind the women and children? Why are you being cowards? Don't fuck with us and then hide behind them. Come out here and face us like a man. And the loss of life in Palestine is terrible. The loss of life in Israel on October 7th was terrible. Anytime it's the innocents, it's terrible. So I agree with him there, but I don't agree with this big push to back up Israel and make sure Israel's okay and take care of Israel. I don't like that. I don't like the way that sounds. And here's a Stefanik. I think she's even worse.
Serve the American people, I will defend George Washington's vision of religious pluralism and freedom. Today, this means crushing anti-Semitism at home and supplying the state of Israel with what it needs, when it needs it, without conditions to achieve total victory in the face of evil. Chants of death to America are not hollow slogans. They are a promise that what happened here on October 7th could happen in the United States unless Hamas and its jihadist accomplices are eliminated. And it is the United States' high honor and high responsibility to support Israel's efforts. I have been clear at home, and I will be clear here. There is no excuse for an American president to block aid to Israel, aid that was duly passed by the Congress. There is no excuse to ease sanctions on Iran.
So there she was, Elise Stefanik. I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like hearing crush anti-Semitism at home. What the fuck does that mean? Are you going to punish people who say things that you deem anti-Semitic? And who's the arbiter of what's anti-Semitic and what's not? Who decides that? You can't crush anything at home. You can't crush people's feelings. You can't crush the way people might feel about a certain group, whether it's right or wrong. You're not going to crush anything. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of giving Israel whatever they want without question. Fuck that. Every dime that leaves this country, every dime that comes out of our pocket to the federal government that goes outside of our borders needs to have questions. No questions? I got plenty of questions. Here's one. What happens to the $3.8 billion a year that we gave Israel for defense? Let's just say the last 10 years. You know it's been more than that. Let's say the last 10 years. Over the last 10 years, we've almost given you $40 billion for your defense. So when shit hits the fan and it's time for you to defend yourself, why do you need more money from me? I gave you the money to take karate lessons every month. You've been taking them for 25 years, at least. So now when it's time for your tournament, Karate Kid style, when it's time for LaRusso to face against Johnny Lawrence, now you're asking me to pay for your shit again? I've been paying for your shit for the last 25 years, LaRusso. You better get in there and do that Karate Kid crane kick shit. Why you hit me up for more money now when it's time to throw down? The fuck did all that money go? You need more to fight Palestine? Where does Palestine fall in the rankings of the top militaries in the world? Are they on the list? Do they even get an honorable mention? And you need tens of billion dollars more from me? I don't like that. I don't like, and obviously she was telling that speech or giving that speech in Israel. I don't like that. I don't like the sound of that. You needed to be here in America saying we are going to do A, B, and C no matter what to help the American people without question, to give them everything they need. I don't ever like any representatives from our country, appointed or elected, talking about supporting another country like that so passionately, without question, without limits, whatever they need. No, there need to be limits, and you need to supply the shit that you need, especially since we've been giving you almost $4 billion every year for this very moment. This is what it's all led up to. It's showtime. So show me where that $3.8 billion every year has been going. Because if you need us to give you more money in the middle of a war, it sounds to me like the $3.8 billion hasn't been going to defense. What's it been going to? Whose nose has it been going up? What kind of parties you've been having? Who's been buying Rolls Royces and harems and shit? Who's been partying it up with our $3.8 billion a year? Because obviously you're not putting it toward defense. But Trump's cabinet, other than that, looks great. Vivek and Elon Musk are already talking about saving us at least $2 trillion. You know the government spending is out of control. You've seen things like that. You've read where they're spending $20 million on this and $50 million on hammers and toilet seats and shit. We've all heard the tales. Now it's time to do something about it. Tulsi Gabbard, as the director of national intelligence, I like it. She has a military background. These are all pro-American people. I saw a video, one of the ladies like, does she have experience in intelligence like this? Well, maybe not. Maybe she wasn't an intelligence officer. Maybe she doesn't come from one of the three-letter departments. But she's intelligent and she's pro-American. Come on down. RFK, Health and Human Services. Finally, we have a person that looks like they can be in charge of Health and Human Services. Not these piles of mashed potatoes with wigs on and their dicks duct taped to their butt cracks. Rachel Levine, anyone? It's man. Finally, somebody that looks like they should be in charge of Health and Human Services. Matt Gaetz, I've seen tons of clips of him getting in that ass like a bike with no seat to these fucking crooks. I like him so far. There's some talk of him being involved in some investigation, but he stepped down so the investigation can go no further. It's sounding good to me. I don't know everything about everybody in his cabinet. I tried to find if any of them had dual citizenship. I didn't find anything saying that they did. That's a deal breaker. That is a deal breaker. That would be a blemish on Trump's record as the 47th president if he had anybody in his cabinet with dual citizenship. That is a no-no. That is a deal breaker. That's a never. I don't care if they have dual citizenship with Canada, you fucking hosiery. I don't care. Canada's not America. This is your only allegiance. This is the only place you should be a citizen if you work for us. If you're a regular citizen, I might look at you a little sideways. If you have dual citizenship, why don't you have allegiance and citizenship here? But I won't give a shit. But if you're someone who's in the federal government and you're moving money around and influence and shit like that on my dime, that money stays here. You can go work for them. You can't serve two masters. You cannot do two things equally. Something will suffer. So why don't you go over there and work for Israel? Or you come over here and you work for us. It's very simple. I like to keep things simple. It's easy for me to keep up with. Work for us, work for them. You can't work for both. Sorry. And what kind of scumbag piece of shit would try to do that anyway? You can't be trusted. Anybody with dual citizenship in the federal government, I look at you like somebody wearing a neck brace. I don't know. You full of shit. Nobody wears a neck brace. You just don't believe them. Am I right? Am I the only person who doesn't trust people in neck braces? I feel like you're trying to get over on something. I feel like as soon as you walk inside your house, you're going to take that neck brace off and do 2 backflips. I don't trust you. So appointed or elected, officials who are in the cabinet, in our government, whatever, you guys are the neck brace wearers of politicians. I don't trust you. You work for me or you work for them. A hoe can't work for two pimps, can they? Somebody's going to end up getting slapped. You work for me or you work for them. Very simple. But I don't think we'll have that problem with the RFK, the Gates, and they have to be approved. They have to go through a process. They're saying that Matt Gaetz might not because there are some Republicans and Democrats that don't like him. They might not get the votes. But then they're saying they can do a recess appointment where the House and the Senate are, on one of their bullshit vacation days that they don't work, and he can put them through then. I don't know. But looking good so far. I'm happy. It's been a long time since we had pro-American people in our government, in the president's cabinet. So I'm happier than I can't even say that on YouTube. I'm happier than with a fistful of dicks. Leave me in the comments. What do you think about his appointments? What do you think about his cabinet so far? Am I missing something? Am I not digging deep enough? Or are we ready to roll? Are we ready to make America great again? Because a rising tide lifts all boats, even if the boats are painted in rainbow and Ku Klux Klan's flag colors. Even if the boat doesn't want to be in the harbor of the USA, even if that boat doesn't like us, doesn't like our policies, thinks if you voted for Trump, you're racist, which now you think everybody's racist because everybody voted for Trump. Whatever condition your boat is in, whether it has a pink mohawk or not, whether it has a man bun and is a male feminist or not, whether it has a mask on its boat and 15 boosters, the rising tide of America being great again will lift your punk ass up too. Meet me in the comments. What do you think about Trump's cabinet selections thus far? You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. I'm out.